My car note is $1,000, and when I posted that video, some people were asking me what kind of car I have. So if you're wondering why I started doing the blue page, making the little hot content, it's because I need to afford the lifestyle that I live.
What's going on, guys? You already know what time it is. I am back with another video. This right here is another example of how people will make reckless decisions, regret it, and then blame everyone but themselves.
My car note is $1,000, and when I posted that video, some people were asking me what kind of car I have, so I'm gonna show you. This is the inside of my girl. She's a 2024 Jeep Wrangler.
Listen, having $1,000 car payment is already just, that takes the cake right there. But having $1,000 car payment for a Jeep Wrangler with a cracked windshield is absolutely crazy work.
She's pretty sweet. This is the inside. She's a little messy, but not too messy. The seat's down because I'm in the process of moving, but this is why she's $1,000. This touchscreen is bigger than every other Jeep. My roof also goes all the way back. Like all the way back. Hold on. Like all the way back. And most Jeeps don't do that, except for the 2024 GXE, or what? 4xe Jeeps. She's also hybrid, so she takes electricity and gas. And this is what she looks like on the outside. But the gag is, my car note should have been $700. I just had a terrible car salesman who took advantage of me. So if you're wondering why I started doing the blue page, making the little hot content, it's because I need to afford the lifestyle that I live.
So basically what she's telling us is that she bought a car that she knew she couldn't afford. And as a result of that, she went and started an OnlyFans, hoping that it's going to help supplement her income enough. Listen, I just don't understand how people are out here making these huge financial decisions that they're going to have to be responsible for a significant amount of time. You're making car payments, but yet you don't do the proper research beforehand, and you don't go into it with a game plan and the best understanding that you could give yourself possible, so that way you know what you're getting into. And if you're not getting what you want, you understand you should just walk away. And so the first part I really want to focus on is the lack of financial literacy that usually places people in the poor situations that they find themselves in. Sure, the economy goes up and down and things end up costing more and can be harder to afford certain items. That does exist. We understand that. Cost of living goes up. Wages don't go up at the same pace. That's true. But a huge chunk of why you see so many people who are in financial distress is due to a lack of financial literacy, where they make poor decisions. And I think the only reason you don't hear as much conversation around that being a factor is because that requires that person to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I should have probably been smarter with my money before buying that item. I should have perhaps thought a little bit harder. Do I really need this? Or could I get something that maybe costs less? I mean, first things first, she decided to sign the paperwork. That's not something that just happens to you. There were numbers shown and presented to her. Terms were explained. Monthly payments were broken down. And she had time to ask questions, and at any time she had time to walk away. So she knew how much the car cost because she saw the payments and she agreed to those payments. And this is something that I really stress in these coaching conversations all the time. If you genuinely, such as in her case, if she genuinely can't afford $1,000 a month car payment, then what is she doing in that dealership? Because if you don't have $1,000 of disposable income every month, then you should not be shopping for a car with that type of price tag. And she says that the salesman took advantage of her, but let's unpack that logically. What exactly did he do? I don't think he held her hostage and made her sign on the dotted line and said, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. And this is without trying to defend car salesmen, because there are some sleazy car salesmen out there. But the phrase took advantage of me is being weaponized in this case to cover up poor decision making. Being uninformed is not the same as being a victim, especially today when you could literally go on YouTube and look up help with going into a dealership to make sure you don't get cheated or whatever. And a whole bunch of videos will pop up with former car salesmen who now have YouTube channels who are trying to help buyers understand, their purchasing power. Even with other people who have educated themselves on the car buying process, and they're now giving tips and tricks and things to know to others, so that way they're better informed and know what to do when they walk into a dealership. There's a slew of content out there if you want to educate yourself on it that will help you be best prepared before you walk into that dealership. This wasn't financial abuse. This was her walking into a dealership unprepared with no budget, no game plan, and no self-discipline. And so what ended up happening was she got finessed by her own ignorance and ego. Here's the thing. If she really needed a car due to where she lived at, maybe public transportation wasn't actively present enough in the area for her to depend on that. So if she really needed a car, there were literally hundreds of more financially sound options available for her. But instead, she went straight for the shiny new toy. And why? Because a lot of times people want to project the image that they're doing better than they actually are. And so I think this is just the result of valuing image over logic and status over stability. Financial literacy cannot be understated. And what a lot of people don't understand is that if you don't understand the deal, then you have no business signing it. You're agreeing to a financial contract that can follow you for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. That's a major obligation. So if she didn't understand her credit score before she walked in the door, understood what her interest rates would look like due to her credit score and potentially what range that was going to fall in, calculating your monthly obligations with this new responsibility. So now you got $1,000 car payment on top of rent if you're living on your own, on top of utilities, on top of phone bill, on top of groceries, all these other expenses. Can you even afford this new bill? And then the most obvious one is comparing your options with other dealerships. Not having all those basics down just means she wasn't ready to buy a new car. And this is the same energy that gets brought into relationships, apartment leases, mortgages, student loans, which is why when I hear people complaining about their student loans, something that I'm still paying back myself, it's hard to feel bad for someone because they speak as if they did not know they will be responsible for having to pay it back. And it goes for people of all ages where they will just sign up for things and then say, I'll figure it out later. And the reason why we know she couldn't afford this purchase was because now her solution is she's starting an OnlyFans, which is not in the least bit surprising when you think about her decision-making skills up until this point. OnlyFans almost seems like it was inevitable, where now she's decided that she needs to jump on the internet and expose herself in whichever way she sees and wants to be able to make a buck for a convenient subscription fee. So this isn't about surviving a rough economy where you just can't afford things nowadays because the cost of living is going up exponentially. No, this right here is about making poor financial decisions. She bought a lifestyle she couldn't afford. And now she's trying to sell her body online just to stay afloat. And this is where I see so many people, especially women, caught up in lifestyle clout end up. Because I checked out her social media, and I'm not gonna bring it on screen, but it was your typical, look at me, I need attention. Look at me, I'm in front of the grass walls at the club. Look at me with the ass shots. Look at me, I need attention with my outfits in the gym. Everything that you think about stereotypically on social media that we see, I saw it on her profile. So it's not really a surprise when you see people who are so concerned and so invested in selling an image on social media, but you get them behind closed doors and you find out it's desperate times. I would never recommend somebody pick up $1,000 car payment unless you were making the kind of money where that $1,000 would not be missed on your current salary. Because the fastest way to financially handicap yourself is by making huge purchases that you cannot afford. Here's the logic takeaway. Don't sign up for a lifestyle your bank account can't afford. A car with a car note that keeps you broke is not a flex. And accountability isn't about blame. It's about asking, what did I do to land here and how can I make sure it doesn't happen again? But anyway, closing question for you guys. Have you ever, anytime, maybe when you were younger, if you're older now, have you ever bought something to look like you had it together when in reality, it just made things worse? And what finally clicked in your head to make you realize that you were in control of your financial decisions and that you had to make better ones? Guys, leave your questions, comments, those, and your feedback down below. You know, I appreciate every time you guys take the time to chime in. You enjoy any part of the content, smash the like button for more, subscribe to the channel, and as always, until next time.